Hello everyone and welcome back to my digital pickups video for the Steam Summer Sale of 2022. Ever since I got the Steam Deck like a month ago, I've been loving this thing, and that has been triggering obviously a lot of interest towards games that are deck verified and things that I can play on my Steam Deck. This thing is wonderful. I'll probably make an first impressions videos on the Steam Deck. I know I've been saying that because I've had this for over a month, I think, already. So been loving this thing, and what better excuse to pick up more digital games for my Steam library than to play them on the Steam Deck. So here we have the Steam Summer Sale, which it's always in full effect. So hopefully this pickups video will serve as a kind of like recommendation video at the same time if you guys are looking for some interesting titles to play on your Steam Deck or in your PC in general. So with that being said, let's just get jump started right off the bat with some of the digital pickups that I did. The first one is a game that has been heavily recommended. Let me just turn the sound off here for copyright reasons, but it's Lilies, Quietest of the Nights. This is a Metroidvania that has been getting that has gotten a lot of positive reviews and a lot of praise from Metroidvania genre fans. So I've been playing a lot of Metroidvania games as of late, so this is something that definitely caught my attention. As you guys can see here, the art style is very unique, very dark, very somber, and supposedly the game is very fun and highly replayable. It's a typical Metroidvania with just a wonderful art style and kind of like dark themes surrounding the game. So it's also supposed to be a little bit on the challenging side. So it'll be interesting to test this out once I think I'm playing Blasphemous right now on the Steam Deck, so maybe after I beat Blasphemous, I'm going to give Ender Lilies a try. This is a Steam Deck verified game, so it should play without any hiccups on the Steam Deck. So I'm definitely excited to try this game out after I beat Blasphemous, hopefully. But a lot of interesting things that you guys can see there. You can like summon, enemies and whatnot, and this is on sale for $18 or $17.49, which is it's a fair price considering it's a fairly new game. I think it came out last year, so very excited to try this game out sooner than later. Crosscode is another game that I picked up. This is not a Steam verified game, but I've heard it plays fairly well. Even though it's not officially a deck verified game, I think it plays very, very nicely on the system. And this is, in my opinion, a perfect game to try it out on the Steam Deck. It has like over the top, old school, kind of like retro art style with over the top views. And it's supposed to be an interesting RPG that has gathered a lot of attention, being an indie game. It's just received a ton of praise, as you guys can see here. It has over 10,000 or highly positive reviews here. And I've heard nothing but good things for people that have played the game. I know JC here in our community played this game and has been touting this as being a very fun game. So Crosscode, it's just been on my wish list for the longest time. I know it was out on Game Pass at one point, I think, but I think I want to try this game now on the Steam Deck and see what all the fuss was about. So looks really good. As you guys can see here, plenty of action, plenty of RPG elements, so looking forward to trying this at one point. Moving on to the next one is a game that was pulled out of Steam for many years, and it came back recently, I think because of licensing issues. So I decided to pull the trigger and buy this, even though I already own this on the 360 marketplace, so I can technically play this on my Xbox Series S. But decided to pull the trigger. I don't think this is compatible with the Steam Deck, or I should say it has the yellow. It's playable on the Steam Deck. It may have some small glitches here and there, but for the most part it's playable, so hence why I bought the game. But we're talking about Alice Madness Returns, which is kind of like the dark and kind of like gory take on the Alice in the Wonderland kind of like tales. So this is a very grim game. It was originally released in 2011, and it has gotten a lot of almost like a cult following of people that have played this game throughout the years. But as you guys can see here, very gory, very dark art style, depicting Alice and the game is set to find the root of Alice's madness. So very cool concept that I just want to be able to have it on my Steam library before the game gets taken off for licensing issues, I guess. So might as well buy it now at a good sale price. As you guys can see here, $8. So again, Alice Madness Returns, a game that I've been meaning to play, and I'm happy to have it on my Steam library now. Moving on. The sleeper hit of my purchases so far. This is an old school side-scrolling platforming game called Uzi Earth Adventure. I know the game kind of looks I don't know. It looks very simple, as you guys can see here. It looks like kind of like a Flash game, from the 2010s. Just a very basic. But I've been having a lot of fun playing Uzi Earth's Adventure as a palate cleanser. I've been playing a lot of Celeste and Blasphemous and Cuphead on my Steam Deck. A lot of very hardcore, challenging games, and Uzi Earth's Adventure is so far on the easy side in the story mode. The game has very, very good mechanics, very floaty mechanics that allow you to control your character quite well, when platforming. So the game has been on the easier side so far, but at the same time, it's pretty fun. Looking for collectibles and just doing regular traditional platforming, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of classic 2D platforming games. So Uzi's Earth Adventure, as you guys can see here, it's a very fun game, and you can't beat the price. It's less than $1, 99 cents. It's at a 90% discount. So for $1, I'd say just go ahead and buy this. And the game is verified on Steam Deck as well. So very fun game. Highly recommend it if you guys enjoy classic 2D side-scrolling platformers. And with the platforming indie, I guess, vibe going on, this is another recommendation that I had on my wish list for the longest time, and I just finally decided to pull the trigger. This game is MacBat 64, which is a 3D platformer, kind of like with a Nintendo 64 aesthetic. As you guys can see here, you can see all the rough edges, the low resolution textures and blocky textures and whatnot, all the pixels. But the game's supposed to be pretty fun. This is from the same creator of the Tori games, Tori 3D. I think I talked about those games in my channel briefly, but I haven't played this, obviously, but it was on sale for very cheap. As you guys can see here, less than $1. So for an indie N64 3D platformer and like game, I thought I'm gonna pull the trigger for less than $1 and just go with it. As you guys can see here in the video, it reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie, those games. So hopefully it's good. It has a very positive reviews here, as you guys can see here. So hopefully the game lives up to my hype. For less than $1, you can't go wrong though, even though if the game is bad or something. Next up, I picked up an indie kind of like action CRPG type of game. As you guys can see here, hectic action all around. This is Sands of Salsa. Man, I hate how the sound comes automatically on the Steam Deck videos, but this is a Chinese indie kind of like action strategy game. As you guys can see here, hectic action all around, and it was recommended to me by one of the channels that I follow here on YouTube, Mortimal Gaming. So he plays a lot of CRPGs and whatnot, so decided to give Sands of Salsa a go since it's on sale for like $8. And this game has a lot of gameplay. From what I understand, it takes like around 20 hours to complete the game or something like that. So a lot of content, a lot of bang for your buck, if you will. Very interesting art style, and a lot of different ways that you can tackle the game depending on the characters you choose from, all your stats and whatnot. So this was on sale for $9. So I decided to pull the trigger and get it. It's playable on the Steam Deck, so hopefully I don't find too many glitches when playing this game. But a lot of, as you guys can see here, very positive reviews, over 17,000 reviews, and the game just came out late last year. So this is one of those sleeper hits for PC that a lot of people are going crazy about it, and looking forward to play this at one point. Next up, just to keep the easygoing nature of the games, we have Witch Eye, which is a retro, kind of like a Super Nintendo inspired side-scrolling platformer, as you guys can see here. It has a very unique, or not unique, you know, kind of like a retro-inspired art direction, and this game was recommended to me by some friends. It has some unique gameplay in the sense that you control like kind of like the witch's eye, as the game implies. So it has a very kind of like innovative kind of like gameplay mechanics where you control the eyeball, and you know, as you guys can see here, you have all the sprites and you know, animations that resemble old school like 16-bit era games. So decided to pick this up. The game looked interesting and looks beautiful. You know, it was released in 2020. It was published by Devolver Digital, and the game cost $2. So you know, for less than $2, you can't go wrong with a old school kind of like a side-scrolling game for your Steam library. Next up, a JRPG that I've been meaning to play ever since, you know, I've heard the game came out on other systems other than the 360, because I think this was originally a 360 exclusive title back in the day when it came out. But in 2019, as you guys can see here, it got a PC release with a definitive edition, improved graphics and whatnot. And of course, we're talking about Tales of Vesperia, another entry in the Tales of games. And yeah, it's on sale for a very deep discount, I think for $9 or $10. And this game is Steam Deck verified, so technically I could play this on my Steam Deck. I own this game already on the, I want to say the PS3, PS4 version that came out. But you know, again, I've been just tempted to buy a lot of Steam Deck verified games, just because of the convenience factor of playing this as a handheld version. So as you guys can see here, you know, $10, you know, 80% discount. So pulled the trigger and got Tales of Vesperia to play on my Steam Deck. Next up, one of the most controversial games of all time, Duke Nukem Forever. I actually played this on the PlayStation 3. I did not beat the game through, but from what I remember, it wasn't that bad. You know, I bought this for like $3 back in the day for the PS3, and decided to pull the trigger. It's also on sale for $4. So, and it's deck verified, so I can play this on my Steam Deck. From what I remember, it was a very, you know, below average first person shooter, but again, for the laughs, you know, and just to get more Duke Nukem action, you know, corny, cheesy voice acting, and you know, just over the top testosterone, you know, filled you know, first person shooter action. Sure, I'll get it again and have it on my Steam Deck ready to go for whenever I feel a chance. Obviously, the reviews are mixed. This game has been hated for a lot of people, a lot of fans, and yeah, decided to pull the trigger and see how it goes. Next up, I picked up the combo, the Middle-earth, the Shadow bundle. You can get both Shadow of Mordor games for, as you guys can see here, $10. You can't go wrong. I already beat the first one, Shadow of Mordor, on the PlayStation 4. I have an impressions video from, you know, many years ago when I beat the game. But these games are great because they use a similar combat system to the Batman Arkham games, you know, kind of like the free flow system. And the games introduce other interesting features like the Nemesis system, where you can track, or enemies can track you and follow you throughout the world. I had a grand time playing Shadow of Mordor back in the day. Loved that game. So here I have the definitive version on Steam, which, by the way, is also Steam Deck verified. I can play this on the Steam Deck. So this one comes with all the DLC content, which is pretty cool. I should probably check that out. And then, of course, it comes with the Middle-earth Shadow of War game, which is the sequel to Shadow of Mordor, which I haven't played, even though I own this on the PS4. Again, for the convenience factor, instead of playing this on the PS4, I decided to get the the bundle, and I will likely play this on my Steam Deck. And again, this is the definitive edition, I believe, which comes with all the content. This was a little bit controversial because I think there were some kind of like loot boxes mechanics from what I recall, but hopefully that has been sorted out, and maybe with the definitive version, the DLC has everything included, so you don't have to like grind, hopefully. But I'll find that out whenever I get the chance to play this game. But very happy to have both games because these are great games with a great combat system. Next up, I have an indie game, Kamiko, which I remember buying this on the Nintendo Switch and having a pretty fun time. It's like an over-the-top Zelda-like, classic Zelda-like game. As you guys can see here, very basic sprites. You can have 3 different characters. Each character has their own abilities. Long-range attack here with the bow or swords and whatnot. It's a very cute and short type of game, so decided to pull the trigger since it was on sale for the Steam Summer Sale. This is a great game, short and to the point. So if you guys enjoy classic Zelda games, this is a very, very fun title. Continuing with kind of like the indie scene, this is Sundered, Eldridge Edition. This is a kind of like a Metroidvania game with a very, very nice art style. As you guys can see here, crazy looking enemies. A lot of positive reviews, as you guys can see here, thousands of very positive reviews. And again, I'm in sort of this Metroidvania kind of mood as of late, so decided to pull the trigger. This is on sale for what, $4. Decided to pull the trigger, and hopefully I get to play this game at one point because I've heard a lot of good things about this game. Besides the great visuals, obviously, it's supposed to be a very solid Metroidvania game. So, Sundered here for the Steam. Happy to have it. Let's see. Next up is Titan Souls. This game came to my attention after playing Death's Door. This game is actually by the same developers, which is Acid Nerve. As you guys can see here, this is a much more, primitive work on behalf of Acid Nerve, in the sense that this is kind of like sprite-based, old school looking. But from what I understand, the game has a lot of interesting sceneries and kind of like dark themes similar to Death's Door. So the game is supposed to be very fun, very well designed. So again, happy to have this. It's on sale as well. Let me just check this out. It's on sale for $1.50. So sure, I'll give it a buy and see what Acid Nerve's first game was all about. And the last game I have has been recommended by a friend of mine. It's called Wide Ocean Big Jacket. This is kind of like an unknown type of indie game. It's a coming of age type of story from what I understand, that it's fairly short to the point. It has, as you guys can see here, it's kind of like a blocky retro 3D graphics. But from what I've heard, this game is pretty fun, kind of like a coming of age adventure game, and it has been recommended by a friend. And it's on sale for, it's on sale for $2. So again, decided to pull the trigger and get this game, and probably play it as a palate cleanser, in between hard and long games. This will be like the perfect fit. With that being said, those are my Steam pickups for the summer sale of 2022. A lot of Steam Deck verified games to play on my Steam Deck. I've been loving it so far. So looking forward to playing more games in there, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Take it easy.